Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. If you've been here since day one and since part one of my Supergirl review, I welcome you back. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, you can go down and subscribe, tap the notification bell because weekly videos or monthly videos are coming. So this is it. This is gonna be my last Supergirl episode review. Yesterday on Tuesday, the 9th, I think the 9th, Supergirl has ended. And it's very emotional for me because I have been, sorry, I forgot my earphones was in there. And it has been one hell of a ride following the show's journey, where it went, and how it was supposed to be, following all of the actors that was on the show on their journey. And I'm glad I got to watch this show, because if I didn't and I watched it when it was already ended, I would kind of be shocked by it. So my initial reaction to Supergirl ending is totally different than how my initial reaction of Arrow ending. They're different, and oh my gosh, like, you cannot believe what emotions and opinions and stuff I have went through in this last episode. So as you already know, since some of you already watched it on TV the other day, that in the beginning of the episode, we see already Kara making this very big speech, getting everyone to try to get their powers, their energy and power back from Nixie and Lex back, and they're not gray anymore. They're not diminishing or anything. They're back to themselves, and I'm so glad that they did. But the only thing that really shocked me the most out of this episode was what happened afterwards and what happened at the end of the episode. So the first one was that Nixie and Lex could call on anyone from the past, present, that Supergirl and the others have defeated. And one of them was very confusing for me because I was wondering, when did they defeat Red Tornado? And then I remember it's probably from the last crossover that Supergirl defeated them. Well, her friends did, but still, the same. So I was so shocked that the villains they decided to bring back into the show was Red Tornado, the Parasite monster, the recent villain one was the Dominator Silver Goo, and I forgot the rest. But the other present villains, but not actually villains, are the Phantoms. But the only thing I liked on how they introduced James, Mon-El, and Rin back was their entrances. Like right when I believe Lex was gonna hit Kara with a kryptonite shot, or something like that, Mon-El flew into Capcom, and he got his cape and bring it up like this and saved Kara. And oh my gosh, Kara's reaction to seeing Mon-El was the best. And I love how Rin's entrance was. All he had to do was make this Legion ship fly up a little bit and get the other two villains disappear. And then with James, when Kelly was about to get hit by Amazemo or whatever that robot's name was, James freaking got there in time and blocked the hit. And I was like, oh my gosh, shocked. Like, I wanted to freaking say something, but I was recording my favorites parts of the episode, And then Eliza saving Nia. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. I was like, who's gonna save Nia? And then when Eliza came, I was like, oh my god, okay. And then, oh my gosh, I love the part where all of them came together to stop Lex and Nixley was, oh my gosh, badass. And when I was recording it, I took some like snapshots because there's a part here on the camera where there's that white button where you just press in and it'll take pictures from the while you're recording. So that's what I did. So I hope it's in my gallery. And then right when Nixley and Lex thought that they would eventually win this battle, everyone that Kara has inspired to come back and, be their own hero and stuff in their life, they all gather around behind Kara, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what I call about teamwork, call about people helping people, oh my gosh. And then with Lex opening the portal to the Phantom Zone, calling the Phantoms, dude, one thing he did not calculate it was that when he was gonna have the Phantoms attack everyone, he did not calculate it that they probably wouldn't have the fear for the Phantoms to attack them with. So him and Nixie were so confused. Like, honestly, I can't understand why Lena didn't wanted him to close it. But when Lex said that he couldn't, once you open the Phantom Zone, you can't close it. But then one thing he didn't calculate was that if the others did not have the fear for the Phantom's reason to attack them, he did not calculate him and Nixley having all the fear. And honestly, we all knew why they both would have fears. Like, they don't have the All-Stone power in them anymore to hit the others with. Like, how usually seen it, how we saw them did almost to each other. Like, they were so freaking scared that they might lose this battle, or that they don't have the All-Stone's power anymore to defeat the Super Friends. And I'm kind of glad that the Phantoms took Nixley and Lex to the Phantom Zone. And I think this is going to be the first time Lex has ever been there. And he's probably going to hate himself for and regret opening the Phantom Zone, like, honestly. And I really thought that when he was going to open the Phantom Zone that, oh my gosh, Zor-El and Allura was going to come down and help Kara and the rest to defeat the Phantom Zone. But I guess since the Phantoms took Nixley and Lex instead, I was like, that's kind of okay. I really thought Clark was going to come back too, considering. But I guess with the actor Tyler, I think he probably had other stuff to do, like Superman and Lois and probably press and whatnot, that he was probably not going to be able to be free to come back for an episode. Or probably it's because in Superman and Lois, I think I heard that probably Clark doesn't remember having Kara as a cousin and about Kara, but he only remembers the others. So I guess that probably wouldn't work out in this episode. But I'm really glad they all came back. But kind of sad that Mana wasn't able to come back to go to Alex and Kelly's wedding. But I'm glad that Jimmy and Rin did. And oh my gosh, the part where Rin and Kara sang together, I love that song, We Belong by Pat Benatar. I love that song. I always listen to it. And it's so emotional. Like, it still gets me in, like, that emotional part where, usually, like, and I love how they sang together for the wedding. It's like how Kara sang for Barry and Iris' wedding, but a whole totally different song. And with her and Rin's voice together, they actually sounded so good. And, I love both parts where Rin kept, like, spilling, like, the tea of what's happening in the future. Like, the first part when Manal was still there after after they had William's funeral already, which was so sad. I was so sad. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he was dead. He's still dead. And when John was talking about the deal and stuff, Ring freaking spoiled one itsy bitsy thing about the new deal that happened already in the future. And Monel's looking at him and he's like, hey, I'm of the future. I love that. He was so funny about it. And honestly, I really thought they weren't gonna bring Brainy back for the wedding in time. Cause then the whole brain merge thing. But when I saw him back at the wedding, I knew it. He rather devotes himself to Nia for his entire life. He'll see if the future changed because he came back. And then right after the wedding, I think Alex and the others were dancing and stuff like you usually do at a wedding with the brides and grooms. And I love the talk between Jean and Win, and I love how they were reminiscing the good old times when he was still there before he went to the 31st century. And then he ends up spoiling one more like future thing, but it's about Jean, and he's like saying like, well, that's what Ewan McGonn's son told me. And he just spoiled that. I was like wondering like, I really hope that when he told that little tidbit to Jean that it's not gonna change the future, like it doesn't change him and McGonn's relationship and him and McGonn getting pregnant and stuff. And the look on his face when he heard that he had a son, he was so happy that him and McGonn were having a kid together and that he gets to be a father again. And I love how even though Jeremiah wasn't there anymore, that he became Esme's surrogate father, considering he was Alex's surrogate father figure, which I love. And I knew how James and Esme's uncle niece relationship was gonna be like. I love the part where he said that her grandfather, I love how he considers his father as Esme's grandfather. I love that. I love how he's like, your grandfather gave me a camera at your age or something like that. And I love how he wanted to still keep that as a tradition and got Esme a camera too. And I love how Esme already loves James so much. I love that. And at the second thing that really shocked me the most at the end, which is the end of the episode, was that Kara decided to finally tell the world she was Supergirl. And it's like how Oliver told everyone he was the Green Arrow, but totally in a different way. This way, if Supergirl was to still keep going on, have more seasons, we would have loved to see how the National Cities people would take Kara after finding out that she was Supergirl and stuff. And I love how Kara didn't even remember that in the first season that Kat already knew she was Supergirl. And I love how she was still shocked that she knew. Like, honestly, like, to anyone who knows, like, she knew that Kat knew that Barry was actually the Flash because the eyes. And honestly, I don't think Kara could even fool Kat Grant, considering she lives to find out the truth. And I love how Jean gave Alex and Kelly his alien spaceship car for them to use to go to their honeymoon. And the other part that, oh my gosh, this part made me laugh, but I love it. When Kelly was gonna throw the bouquet to all the single ladies, even though they have boyfriends, I think, yeah. And when Nia cheated just to get the bouquet, it's so funny because Wynn's like, that means you're next, Brainy. And Brainy ends up saying that he calculated to 100% that him and Nia are actually gonna get married. He looks so freaking nervous or slightly scared a little bit that him and Nia are next to get married. But I think he really loves the idea of being married to Nia one day, which I love. And I really thought that we were gonna have more to Kara's story at the end, but I love how the last episode is Kara, and I love how they made it the extended cut on the CW. Like, I love the whole episode of it, and I love the wedding. I love how it's like a lovebird rustic barn theme kind of way. And oh my gosh, I thought that I wouldn't be able to get through Alex and Kelly's vows, but I did. And I never really gotten through any of the shows of my favorite characters' vows when they're getting married before, and this was the first. And honestly, I really thought that Alex and Kelly was gonna pick Kara to be Esme's godmother, but I guess they love that Kara can just be Esme's aunt, and I love the fact they asked Elena, but I kind of get it because Lena has been in their lives since day one, more than, anyone else. And I love how Nia and Kara is just going to be Esme's aunt. And hopefully, whenever these characters come to guest star and reprise their role again on any of the remaining still going Arrowverse show, that Alex and Kelly probably end up having more kids, and probably James settle down with someone, or, And it does kind of suck that Mon-El will never come back and return to the present time, but he knows what he wants, and I'm glad that he knows what he wants, and he'd rather be in the 31st century doing what Legions do and saving and protecting people. I love that. And I think when he said that the speech changed the future for them, knowing that, I think that means Lex and Nixley didn't escape. They're still in the Vandom Zone, which, thank God. And yeah, and I really get to hope to see Esme grow up and probably wants to be a part of the Super Friends and help save the world, once she's older and stuff and she's able to do that. And yeah, I'm like really speechless after that. Like, I really thought that it wasn't gonna change anything for me, but it did. It actually showed me a whole new perspective of all of them. I'm really glad that the last part of the episode, before we found out that Kara finally told everyone she was Supergirl, I love how they had one more family game night together. And yeah, and I love how Esme got to join them this time. So I guess that's it for the video. I know it wasn't that much, but at least I got to tell you guys what my opinions are and stuff. Honestly, I hope that we hope to see more of these characters' storylines on other TV shows when, whoever it may be, like Barry or Sarah, ends up bringing them up and talking about them and stuff. And I'm really excited for the 5-part crossover this year. And we already know who's coming back. I'm so excited to see Mia Queen come back. I wonder how that's gonna work, but it's probably gonna be really awesome. I can't wait to see Ray Palmer back. Oh, and Jefferson Pierce, all these wonderful characters. I really kind of wish that they brought someone from Supergirl to be in the Armageddon crossover, but I guess it's probably too soon to even ask one of them to come back to reprise their role for this crossover on one of the shows or on The Flash. But it's still gonna be an amazing crossover. I can't wait to see it. I guess that's it for the video. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, tap the notification bell to always be notified because the weekly or monthly videos are coming. I still need to, figure out what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna film or record. I don't know what the usual word for that is. Yeah, so, and if you haven't followed me, if you want to follow me on my journey, like on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or on all of those, they're gonna be down in the description for you to follow them. Once you follow, and if you follow me on all three of it, like TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, and what's the other one? TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter. If you want to follow all of them, if you decided to follow me on all of them, give me time because sometimes I don't usually go them on a lot, and when I get followers, sometimes, I'm always, when I go on the app, I only, look at what's new and stuff, and sometimes I keep forgetting who followed me and stuff, so I can follow them back. Give me time to follow you back. I will follow you back. And, yeah, I guess that's it for the video. So, I hope you guys love watching this video as much as I love filming it, because I do. And yes, I am gonna have probably one or two parts, my favorite parts of this episode, probably in this video. So you probably have to see if I do put them in or not. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. And yeah, bye.
Your big speech made the history books. Easy peasy, fresh and squeezy.
Jimmy! Happened to be in the neighborhood. Take him, sis.